Messy B&B. How much extra should I charge? Great question. We'll talk about it today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by turnovercleaningtips.com. This is a website that partners house cleaners and Airbnb or VRBO hosts so that you can find the best house cleaner and so that they can answer questions or ask questions, or you guys can play off the same page. So we've got a private Facebook group. We've got lots of tips, lots of resources for you. So check it out at turnovercleaningtips.com. All right, on to today's show. We have a house cleaner that called in and asked this question.
Hi, Angela. I was wondering, after guests have checked out and they have left the place untidy and I have to do additional cleaning, how much should I charge the homeowner to give to the guest? Thank you.
All right, how much extra should you charge is a question that goes back to the host. And so I don't know how big of a property we're talking about. I don't know if it's a full house or if it is just a room. But there needs to be some extra pay if it is extra work. And I don't know what that is, but that should be discussed with the host up front. Also, by the same token, if for some reason you have somebody that comes and stays at the property and they are now infected with the COVID-19, that's going to require some hazard pay for you to bring somebody else in or extra work for you to disinfect everything. So you need to talk about extra work if it's extra messy. You need to talk about hazard pay if you have to come in a hazmat suit and a respiratory mask and all that stuff. So there are a couple of things now that maybe we didn't discuss before, but now it's part of the new conversation. And so let's just go back and rearrange some of the agreements that we have with our Airbnb hosts so that we can get those questions answered up front. Now, the homeowner can also do some things in their listings to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Now, for example, I know that in the past, a lot of B&B owners have had listings where they say no smoking allowed, or there is a set fee, and it might be like $250. And that's so they can come in and use an ozone generator or have the drapes cleaned or whatever it is they need to do in order to get the smell of smoke out of the house. So this is also a time for them to readjust their listings. They say if you come and you stay and you have COVID, for example, it's going to require a whole disinfecting process that we don't normally do when what we normally do is clean and sanitize. And so that's going to be more money, and they might charge that up front. And so how do you know if somebody has COVID? I don't know how you would know, but if they have that inside their listing, maybe you can build those extra costs in. Now, there are a couple of things that we have to be aware of moving forward. There will always be celebrations at Airbnbs. I don't know anybody that goes and stays on vacation and doesn't have some celebrating going on. And so we have to declare what that looks like. At what level does this just become a normal clean? And at what level does it become an extra clean? So if you're just a regular house cleaner and you have an Airbnb property, you need to be aware that there's going to be a lot more cleaning, maybe open jars that are left out, maybe, candles left behind, maybe there's extra garbage from treats or snacks or what have you. So what is a normal clean for the Airbnb is going to be very different from a normal clean from a regular customer that just tidied up before you got there. So what does that look like? Now, right now, and this is really interesting because there are lots of house cleaners that are flooding the industry because they've had previous jobs in the past. And now after the COVID stay at home, they decided they didn't really like their corporate jobs. And so they're moving into the house cleaning space. So there are a lot of people for the very first time that are really unaware of the nuances between regular maintenance cleaning at a regular customer's home, which is a bi-weekly cleaning, and a turnover cleaning, which happens 2 or 3 times a week or maybe even every day. The cleanings are very different. And so it is now a really good time to just stop what you're doing and to get educated on the differences, but also to clarify the rules and regulations with your host. Because if you have a host that likes you and you like them and you work well together and you have all of those agreements and all of those boundaries in place, it can be a really well-paid long-term relationship for you. And I hope that's the case for you. How much should you charge? I really don't know because it's going to be based on how much extra work needs to be done. It also requires daily updates. So are you the one that's doing the damage reports? Are you the one that's doing the restocking? Are you also the one that's doing the extra laundry? And did you have extra laundry because of the situation? For example, now in the COVID era, if we go into a home that has been infected by COVID, for example, You may have to go an extra cycle in the washing machine to make sure that all of the bedding and all of the linens have been sanitized at a particular level or something, where maybe they've just regularly been washed at a particular sanitation cycle or something. So it might be 2 or 3 extra loads of laundry that you normally wouldn't do if it was just a regular process turnover cleaning. I don't know. So you have to figure out what that looks like and what the nuances of the new clean is for the Airbnb and how much the host is willing to pay. Now, the host can also charge transfer fees where they charge part of that to the customer and the customer pays for that, so it just passes through the host, and those can be passed along to you. But all of those agreements have to be in writing and they have to be upfront before the job happens, so that when you go to a job and you take before and after pictures, you can say this is one of those jobs, and then the host can agree, yes, this is one of those jobs, this is an extra fee job or an extra bonus or an extra whatever it is that they're going to pay you for that extra work that needs to be done. All right, I hope that helps a little bit. If it does, please pass this on to a friend. If we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.